Hello, and welcome back to Eon Timeless History, where we explore the hidden mechanics, forgotten stories, and enduring systems that quietly shape our world. If you're fascinated by how simple machines power entire civilizations, you're in the right place. Before we begin, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into history's most overlooked innovations. Now, let's begin with a question. Have you ever driven past an oil field and noticed those slow-moving, almost hypnotic machines dipping their heads up and down? Like they're thinking? They look simple, almost outdated. But what if I told you, these machines are among the most efficient, long-lasting, and quietly powerful inventions ever created? And without them, vast amounts of oil, the very fuel that powers modern life, would remain permanently trapped beneath the earth. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of pump jacks, also known as nodding donkeys, and uncovering the engineering, history, and hidden brilliance behind their steady rhythm. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at these machines the same way again. To understand pump jacks, we need to start with a fundamental problem. Oil doesn't always come easily. When an oil well is first drilled, the underground reservoir is often under natural pressure. That pressure forces crude oil to rise to the surface, almost effortlessly. Think of it like opening a shaken soda bottle. The pressure does all the work. But here's the catch. That pressure doesn't last forever. Over time, as oil is extracted, the reservoir loses energy. The pressure drops. Eventually, the oil just sits there, deep underground, no longer rising on its own. And without intervention, that oil becomes unreachable. That's where pump jacks come in. Their job is simple in concept, but brilliant in execution. They artificially lift oil from deep beneath the surface, sometimes from depths of over a kilometer, keeping wells productive long after natural pressure is gone. Without pump jacks, millions, even billions, of barrels of oil would remain forever trapped underground. Now let's talk about the most recognizable feature of a pump jack, that slow, rhythmic nodding motion. It's not decorative, it's not symbolic, it's doing real mechanical work. At the heart of the pump jack is something called the walking beam. Picture a giant seesaw. One end is connected to a motor and counterweights. The other end connects to a long vertical rod that extends deep underground. As the motor turns, it rotates a crank. That rotation is converted into back and forth motion, and that motion causes the walking beam to rock up and down. This movement is transferred to the rod, pulling it up and pushing it down in a steady cycle. It looks simple, but this up and down motion is what drives the entire oil lifting process. Here's where things get even more interesting, because what you see above ground is only half the story. Below the surface lies the real engine of the system. Connected to the surface rod is a long series of steel rods called a sucker rod string. These rods extend deep into the well, sometimes thousands of meters down. At the very bottom is a device called a downhole pump. This pump works using a piston-like mechanism inside a sealed barrel. As the rod moves up and down, it drives the piston inside this pump. Now here's the clever part. The system uses two one-way valves. A traveling valve attached to the piston, a standing valve fixed at the bottom. When the piston moves upward, it creates suction. This pulls oil into the pump chamber through the traveling valve. When the piston moves downward, the traveling valve closes and the standing valve opens, allowing more oil to enter below. With each cycle, a small amount of oil is lifted higher. Stroke by stroke, inch by inch, the oil slowly makes its way to the surface. It's not fast, but it is incredibly effective.
Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood parts of the pump jack, the counterweights. Those large, heavy metal discs attached to the side of the machine might look excessive, but they're absolutely essential. Here's why. The rod string itself can weigh several tons. Every time the pump jack lifts that rod, it's lifting a massive amount of weight. Without assistance, the motor would have to work extremely hard, leading to high energy consumption and rapid wear.
The counterweights balance this load. As the system moves, the weights help offset the force required to lift the rods. This makes the motion smoother, more efficient, and far less stressful on the motor. It's a perfect example of basic physics in action. Balance the system, reduce the effort. What makes pump jacks truly remarkable is how efficient they are. They don't rely on complex electronics. They don't need constant human supervision. And yet, they can operate continuously for decades. The design is elegant in its simplicity. Rotational motion becomes vertical motion. Small strokes add up to large output over time. Mechanical balance reduces energy consumption. It's not flashy, but it's incredibly reliable. And in industries like oil extraction, reliability is everything. At first glance, pump jacks might seem like relics from the past, but many modern units are far more advanced than they appear. Today's pump jacks often include sensors that monitor pressure and flow rates, automated controls that adjust stroke speed, remote monitoring systems for real-time data. Some can even shut themselves down if conditions become unsafe. So while the exterior looks old school, inside they've quietly evolved with modern technology. You might be wondering, why are we still using these machines in the 21st century? Shouldn't there be something more advanced by now? The answer is simple. For certain types of wells, especially older, low-pressure wells, pump jacks are still the best solution. They are cost-effective, durable, easy to maintain, perfect for low-yield production. In other words, they're ideal for extracting the last remaining oil from aging reservoirs. And in an industry where every barrel counts, that matters. Pump jacks are found all over the world, from North America to the Middle East, from Europe to Asia. Wherever oil wells exist, you'll likely find these machines. They may not get the attention of massive offshore rigs or high-tech drilling platforms, but they play a critical role in sustaining global energy supply. Quietly, consistently, day after day. One of the most impressive aspects of pump jacks is their lifespan. With proper maintenance, these machines can operate for decades. Some units installed in the mid-20th century are still running today. That kind of longevity is rare in modern machinery, and it speaks to the strength of their design. Regular maintenance includes lubricating moving parts, inspecting rods and valves, monitoring performance. Simple upkeep for long-term reliability. Over time, pump jacks have become more than just machines. They've become symbols. Symbols of industry. Symbols of persistence. Symbols of humanity's ability to extract value from the earth, even under challenging conditions. That slow, repetitive motion, it represents endurance, consistency, and the idea that small, repeated actions can lead to massive results. If you're enjoying this deep dive so far, let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen a pump jack in real life? And did you know how much was happening beneath the surface? Also, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow and reach more curious minds like yours. So the next time you see one of these nodding machines in the distance, take a moment. Look beyond the surface, because what seems like a simple mechanical motion is actually a sophisticated system connecting the surface world to deep underground resources. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful technologies are not the most complex, but the most enduring. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden mechanics of everyday machines, make sure to subscribe to Eon Timeless History for more stories like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what topic you want us to explore next.